Okay, so I promised you a prophecy lesson, but we'll do that after we go over the laws about the Day of Atonement. Every year, people ask the same question, so this year will be no different. We'll just go over the details, and then we'll go into prophecy, and then we'll talk, as we end class, we'll talk about the preparation for Chag HaSachath, and go over some logistics. So, okay, the first portion of 4 that we need to look at is 4:3, chapter 23, verses 26 to 32. I'll put that on the screen. 1 second. All right, verse 26 to 32. Okay, so this is Thor 3, so-called Leviticus, chapter 23, and we're going to read from 26 to 32. First word in line 26, YashaiYa'oh, which means what? YashaiYa'oh. And he spoke.
And he said,
And he said, or he spoke. Ya'oh, subject of the verb. Al-Masha la-Amar. Mazath.
To Masha saying,
Okay, so this is Ya'oh speaking to Masha. And he says, line 27, Ach bagashur la-Chadash ha-Chaparaym. Ach
also,
ba.
also the
So,
10th to the month of the 7th.
yeah, even in the 10th of the 7th month, la-Chadash ha-Chaparaym, Hazah Yom ha-Chaparaym. Oh,
The Day of Atonement it is.
Day of Atonement it is. Makar Kadash, a holy reading. Ya'elacham, it will be to you. Wa Chanetham, Ath Napashtecham.
And you will
You
afflict.
should afflict your souls.
You will afflict your souls. Okay, what does that mean? It won't mean the same thing for everybody, as I've been saying for the past 7 years. This is only for people who are of age and even know how to afflict yourself. You can't expect a child to know how to do this. This is not for children. It's also not for people with health issues. If you have a serious health issue, you can't be putting yourself in harm's way. The law is not telling you to put yourself in harm's way. It's speaking to able-bodied people and telling them that on this day you are to afflict yourselves, meaning you're not to do anything that has any type of recreational fun at all. This is not a day to go hang out. It's not a day to go to the mall, shop. It's not a day to go to movies. It's not a day to watch TV. It's not a day to do anything fun. Okay, that's really, it doesn't say specifically what you are to do, but to afflict yourselves, we know, okay, that can't mean going out and having a good time. So nothing that has to do with enjoyment or fun are you to be doing on this day. Okay, some of us, we will fast, but it doesn't say fast. It doesn't use the word fast, but that's one way to afflict yourself, is abstaining from food. So some of us will do that, but not everyone can. Some people have to eat because they're not well. So we don't expect them to fast. Some folks will do a dry fast, no food, no water, 24 hours, 18 watches. Some folks can't do that, right? Each person has to afflict their souls to the ability that they can stand. But definitely everybody can cut out recreational fun. You shouldn't be going out and meeting up with buddies, whatever, to play basketball. None of that. You shouldn't be having dinners and inviting people over. You shouldn't be celebrating. You shouldn't be listening to music that makes you want to get up and dance. None of that. This is a somber day of reflection where you are to afflict yourselves. Wa ha-Chaparaym YashaiYa'oh. And you will bring a fire offering unto Ya'oh. Verse 28. Wa chol ma'acha la taisho.
and not any work will you do.
And any workmanship not will you do. This is a Shabbat. No work. Ba'gatzam hayom hazah, on that self same day. Hey, because Yom Chaparaym ho, it is a day of atonement. It is la chapar, to atone, alechem, upon you, lapane, before Ya'oh Allah Echam, your higher power. Okay, now this is a serious commandment. It's one of those that comes with a threat, a very deep threat. Hey, chal hanapash, for any soul,
Any soul,
ashar, which la thina, not will be afflicted. But gatzam hayom hazah, that self same day. Wa nacharatha, it will be cut off. Ma rameh ha, from its nation. Now, in the earlier days, folks were saying, well, wait a minute, we're in captivity. Does this really apply to us in captivity? And my answer was no. It obviously doesn't apply if you're in a place where the laws dictate that you have to be at work and you've got to, show up or you're going to get fired, stuff like that. But I also said, if you have a job where your HR is willing to consider your religious beliefs and give you the day off, you should do that. You shouldn't just, I'm in captivity, I don't have to do it. If you have the ability to take this day off, then why are you not doing it? Right? You can't just say, well, because I don't have to, I'm in captivity. Right? The attitude should be, no, if I can do it, I'm going to do it. Just because I don't have to do it, because I'm in captivity, I want to start making steps towards Ya'oh. And if I can do this day, I'm going to do it. It's not going to kill me. Just one day. It's not the end of the world. It's not going to destroy you. Just one day. So if I have the power to do it, I would tell folks, if you have the power to do it, you should do it. You should not make an excuse. Oh, well, we're in captivity and blah, blah, blah. But over here in the wilderness, you're not in captivity. There's no curses here. You really don't have an excuse here. All right. Line 30. Wachal hanapash ashar thaisha chal mo'acha ba'gatzam hayom hazah.
and
Every soul. Go ahead.
and any soul which he will do any work in this self same day.
Wa ha-Abate.
I will destroy.
I will
perish. Off hanapash haho'ah.
this soul,
That soul. Ma karab b'chamha.
From among his people.
Among it's a feminine because the word napash is feminine. The ha here is feminine. B'chamha, her or its nation. So every soul is required to do this, male, female, but obviously people who are of age and understand how to do this. You can't tell children, babies and whatnot to flick their soul. And what are you talking about? All right. So we're gonna say males 20 and up. I'm not gonna even if a young man started having those wet dreams and he's 14, I'm not gonna. He doesn't know, that was of no fault of his own. 20 and up for males, for men and women, even women, young women who are still 13. They start having them die at 8 or 9. You can't expect them. They're still babies. 20 and up is what we're saying for adults, for the people expected to keep this law. Okay, age 20 and above. 31. Call mal'acha la taisho.
All work you will not do.
All work you will not do.
Any workmanship not will you all do. You all in the plural. Chakaf cholam
Statute forever
Statute forever
la darathecham
through your generations,
b'chol moshabathecham
in all your
or your
dwellings.
dwellings.
all your dwellings. Shabbat Shabbathon.
A Shabbat of Shabbats it is.
So this is a strict Shabbat. Lacham to you. Wa Renatham, and you will afflict us napashathecham, your souls. Now here's the tricky part. It just told us that the 10th day of the month was this holy day, Ba Rashor Lachadash, but it wants us to begin our Shabbat Bathashai Lachadash Bagarab.
In the ninth
day of the month, in
Ninth
the
day of the month.
evening.
The evening.
Magharab, from evening,
From evening
Gharab
until
unto
evening.
evening. Va Shabbathon, you will keep Shabbat. Shabbatham, your Shabbat.
Your Shabbat.
Or you will rest your Shabbat. So why is it doing that? It's because this day always falls every year on what day? What the 10th day of the month of the 10th 7th month is always falling on what day of the week every year?
Yom HaShashay, the 10th.
Yom HaShashay. So what YashaiYa'oh is doing is he's pushing back the Shabbat time so that you have a window on the evening of Yom HaShashay to prepare for the weekly Shabbat, which is the most important Shabbat we have. Otherwise, it'd be 2 back-to-back Shabbats. And the law doesn't want you to do that. It wants you to have a window where you can, break your fast or whatever you're doing and prepare yourself for the weekly Shabbat that's going to be in the morning, starts in the morning of the 11th day of the 7th month. But everybody thinks, oh, see, this proves the day begins at sunset. No, it doesn't. This is a one-time thing every year. It's an annual thing, not every week. Okay, just once every year, where your Shabbat begins in the evening and it ends the following evening, because that day will be Friday, and you need to get ready for the weekly Shabbat, the main one, the one that is the most holy of all Shabbats. And the reason it does that is because our calendar is fixed. All these holy days are falling on the same days of the week every year. They're fixed. Does everybody understand that?
Khan.
So today is the 9th day of the 7th month. That means when the sun goes away today and in the evening, you will begin your Shabbat and you will begin your affliction. Your affliction will end tomorrow in the evening. Okay. And then you can go shop, you can go whatever, you can, do what you got to do to get yourself ready for the weekly Shabbat. What I would like to do is for the men to meet up and do a group rehearsal, all the Dagalim for the war chant after the affliction ends. So
Come
maybe we
on.
can do that over there in the Highlands. You guys have more space, I think.
Mine.
So it'll be dark, but that's okay. Is it really dark?
It's
Over
really
there,
dark.
Well, yeah, I mean it's
Yeah.
dark. It's dark,
On a puny hill.
but we're okay.
I mean, there's no lights anywhere, no city lights.
There's street lights all the way down through the Highlands, but then once you go to the back, it gets a little bit dark because that's where they're doing the construction. But that's where we do it, back in the area where it's dark, and it's not that hard to see. You can see.
All right, we'll just bring some flashlights up.
And maybe we can, a couple of cars can just, line up our car
Oh yeah, okay, cool.
and just shine the light down. So yeah,
All right,
it worked.
cool. So that'll be after the affliction. We'll head over to the Highlands and someone's keep the question, how are we going to arrange a call and response? And I will work that out after the affliction. And then we're headed toward the stretch of the feast. Now the Cascades will let you start setting up on the pagan 1st of October, which is Tuesday, the 14th day of our month. So those of you who want to go, I'm going to be obviously there setting up all of my stuff on that morning. I'm not going to spend the night. I don't think we can. Can we spend the night? Because we have to, that's going to be counted as no,
Yes,
right?
yes, you can. You can. It's already been paid for. Everybody paid for it, and there's no
All right.
reason.
So you guys are going to be spending more than 7 days. If you spend the night on that night, I'm going to go home. I'm going to just prepare to come back in the morning, Wednesday morning, October 2nd. But definitely set up on the 1st. And I want the camp organized. I think all the tents, the entrance of your tent should face the direction of the altar. We are building an altar. They gave us the green light. I don't care if they weren't going to give me the green light. I was going to build it anyway. But we had a local, we had Colin speak to them in their language and explain. And they agreed once they saw our plan for it. So we're going to have an altar and an area sectioned off for where the tabernacle would be, that 160 by 80 feet area. And we'll keep that holy. We won't let people go in that area except when they're doing the offerings. And I plan on offering every day of the feast. Some of us.
A very quick question.
Yeah.
On the day that everyone's setting up, I think it would be helpful for all of us if the first thing that's set up is like a pole in the holy area, so we know exactly where it is, so we can all point our tents.
Yeah, that's
we
what I
can all
would say. I
face
would
our
say
thoughts.
definitely section off that area first, and then you can easily see, okay, who's northwest, east, and south. And then when folks set up their tent, make sure they're in rows and organized, and all the entrances are facing, the holy area.
Come on.
Yeah.
Quick
So when you wake
question,
up in the morning, and you leave your tent, you are looking in the direction of the fires of Ya'oh, and you worship from the door of your tent, just like our ancestors did.
Question for you, Mabane. Will there be a point person there to make sure, I know you're going to be there, so to make sure that, we're lined up in order and have that space between the camps and so on and so forth?
Yeah, I'm going to be there.
Okay. So should anybody set up their tents before you get there?
I mean, they can. I might have to say move it.
Right. I was thinking maybe no one should set up their tents until you.
No one should set up until after we've identified the holy area.
Shalom.
And then then it should be easy. And then
Shalom.
we have the 4 flags, and we can, plant that flag in your area right near the holy area, and then folks can actually see, okay, that's north, that's south, that's east, that's west. And I think also there's enough space to where you can put your unclean area for your toilets in the corner behind where you set up, like on those edges before you hit the forest. There might be, you know, areas there, instead of you walking all the way to the unclean section where the unclean tents will be, you can have your toilets and your showers, or if you,
At
you know,
the
if you
at
want
the
your
edge of
shower
your encampments,
at
right?
the edge of your camp, just designate this as outside the camp,
Yeah.
right?
Con.
So each camp doesn't have to go all the way to the other end where the unclean area is. They can still have their showers. If you want, you can put your shower right next to your tent, but the toilet has to be outside the camp. Can't
Shalom,
be in the
Abay.
camp.
We have agreed that anybody with animals, regardless, has to be in the unclean area. Is that
Yeah, the animal should, just because, I mean, I'm not saying your animal's not trained, but I don't want to set a precedent where in the future everyone can bring their animals into the camp.
And then next thing they're yeah. Then you got
Usually
your-
we will be living 24, you know, in our daily lives. We wouldn't be living in the camp. This is just now because we're the feast. But usually, you know, day in and day out, we would spend our time, our homes would be outside the camp, and that's where you keep your pets. So I don't want them. I don't think they should be allowed to walk around in the camp. Just, you know, just in the event that they might decide to poop or pee, and then, you know, they defiled the area of the camp. For those of you who can, you avail yourselves of these Cebu vets. They have really nice hotels for your animals. I mean, I think your animal won't want to leave. They look so nice. Some of these are really nice. I don't know how much they cost though, so let me shut up. But they do have, you know, lots of Cebuanos travel, and they put their animals in these little hotels while they're gone, and they're fine. They love it. They groom them. They do everything. They do their nails. They give them a bath, blow dry, shampoo. It's like they treat it like Queen Elizabeth. What else was I gonna say? Okay, that's it. Those of you who haven't, I know there's a lot of folks telling me they still need tents for their unclean. Just remind me, and when you find one that you price one out, just put your Gcash number in there, and I'll just forward you the money. You can just go buy it. I'm not gonna buy it, but I'll give you the money, and you can just go buy it. For those who still need tents. Okay. What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, when we do have the altar, I would like the men to take shifts since I want to keep it burning. I want to see if we can do it. I think we can. I'm going to buy the wood, and I want to see if we can keep that flame going all 7 days of the feast. So when we light the altar on the Wednesday, October 2nd, we're going to need men to take turns making sure that fire doesn't go out. And I'll be one of them. I don't mind. So the priests don't, you know, we only got so many priests, and it would be unfair to make them just do everything, you know, doing the offerings and taking turns making sure the flames out. You know, in the future, when there's a lot more priests, they will be doing that. All of them will be making sure the fire never goes out.
What's the lock delay, Mabane?
Shalom.
Have we figured a way to make sure that we have the lumber, or do we have a lumber provider, you know, or for firewood?
I'm gonna talk to Shamashon
And see if we can
just give him the money,
okay,
whatever he needs.
because that's a lot of lumber we're gonna have to bring. And I'm not saying, but are we sure that there's not somebody like right there in Compostelo close?
Oh, I don't know.
That has lumber that we can use firewood.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. I don't know anything about that area.
Okay.
I mean, I've been there a few times, but
Shalom, Mabane. If you're planning to keep the offering burning day and night, right?
yeah.
I'm not sure if they do quarts of wood down here, but if you're gonna like to get the fire burning,
I think the Labana will keep it burning even if there's no wood. I got
Okay.
tons of Labana.
The Labana definitely does it.
Okay. Okay.
We're not going to be offering all throughout the day. There'll be a time where it's just the flame, and the Labana will keep it lit for sure. Every now and then, just got to sprinkle some Labana, and that flame will reignite itself, and it'll keep going.
Okay. I'll just work out the. Living in Maine, you have to work out quarter woods if you're going to use. You're going to burn fire. You're going to burn a You're going to use fire heat. So, all right. You did we spoke to Catherine about that? Is she okay? All right. And would she be okay for us to store the wood on the premises too?
She said the bonfire is fine. Like once, that's why I want a local speaking to these people in their language.
Yes.
He did one of my numbers. He said, no altar, no deal. We'll go somewhere else. She said, well, show me the plan. And she showed me the plan, and he drew up really quickly a really beautiful sketch plan of the altar and how it would be constructed. And she loved it. She's like, oh, okay, that's great. And so that's what we're gonna do.
And they gave us the whole campground, or just the one side that we negotiated?
I'm putting the altar exactly where I want it, in the middle of the camp.
10-4. YashaiYa'oh.
Yeah.
Right. Hello.
Thanks to Colin, if he's listening, for his Jewish
Shalom,
style of
Abba.
doing shalom.
Shalom.
What else? I hope everyone's thinking about how they're gonna move their stuff, transportation wise. I could rent vans, but I think each tribe should be thinking about exactly what they need before I do that. Lala Move is also good, just to move stuff. They can pack it up, and it's better than getting a van. A van don't really have that much space with all the seats in there. But a Lala Move truck, I mean, they can probably one big truck can probably take everybody's stuff at one time. all 200 people, they can, fit everything in there in one whoop and just go one time. So that's something to think about. What else? Okay. But we'll talk more about logistics after the affliction. Right now, I want you to think about the affliction and what you're going to do. So let's hear for some people. How are you planning to afflict yourselves? I am going to do a full fast, no food, no water, from sundown to sundown.
No shower, brushing
No
teeth,
shower, no
No
brushing
AC.
teeth, no TV,
no AC.
no AC. Oh man,
No AC.
did you say no AC?
No
Yep.
AC.
Oh,
I'm
AC.
sleeping on the floor.
wait a minute. Wait, ain't nobody said nothing
Turn
about
off,
no AC.
just turn off your fuse, your electric box. Just turn it all off. Like no power in the house.
All right. Who else? What are you gonna do?
Sleeping on the floor with a dry fast, no food, no water, sleeping on the floor. No devices except for I'm going to use my phone so that
Gotta
I
keep
can
your phone just in case of emergency.
and I'm going to use my phone just in case while I'm reading, so that I can translate things if I need to understand something a little bit better. But that's what I'm going to spend the whole time just in the book. I've got Echa, the Lamentations. I'm going to read through that, read through Torah. Yeah, so, and sleep on the floor. I've got a mat that I'm going to put on the floor. I'm going to be uncomfortable with no AC in a room where the sun bakes on the freaking front of the house. So it's going to be hot as hell in there. It's going to be good.
Yeah. Okay.
And I also do something, and I know you don't have to do this, but what I do is I keep a strap with me, right? So whenever I find myself my thoughts wandering, I want to keep my thoughts in line. I strap myself across the leg. I do it just to keep myself. I say, nah, you ain't supposed
Flagellation, you're
that
Catholic.
way. I mean, it's a little bit like that, but I'm definitely, I don't get it from them. That's just
Don't
thing that I
worry,
do.
bro. I will come. I will come slap you for.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, I got you. I always want to kick your ass anyway.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
So for women with children, this is going to be tough for you because you got to feed them. They can't not eat. Just be mindful when you're feeding them. If you are fasting, not to pop that cookie in your mouth after you give them, after you give one of them to them, or whatever it is that you're doing to make sure they're okay. And father's the same thing. Anybody else?
Well, I'm on day number 33, but doing juice fasting, fruits and vegetables. So that's all good for me. I got 7 more days left till it's 40 days. Hopefully this diabetes will be reversed. My
Mhm.
sugar's been doing good lately, but the other day it just went up. I don't know, it's the green apples I had was getting kind of soggy and a little old, and it was too sweet, but it made it go up a little high. That's why I couldn't make it to the wash tap. But yeah, it's good for me, my bang. I can do it. Me is all in my mind.
Come on.
Shalom.
Are we allowed to practice the war chant during the atonement?
I would say just wait because we're gonna do it at the end of the affliction anyway. You mean in a group or just by yourself reading it? You can read it by yourself, yeah.
Yeah, by yourself.
Yeah. Sure.
Whilst left my bin.
Come on.
For a woman who is a thola, but she's married, does she have to also keep the law as well, or she has an option? If it's still 20 and up.
Oh, she's below 20. Yeah, if she's married, she's technically of age now. Yeah, I would, she's not under her father's house, so I would expect her to keep the law.
Shalom.
Anybody else? No video game yet. No video games.
Shalom. I'm gonna be fasting and studying the 10 words.
10 words. Okay. Very good. Yeah, you can work on the 9th day until the sun goes away, and then you have to stop. Loy would keep the fire going when we have a tabernacle and we have enough of them. I'm saying right now there's not that many, and it's okay for other tribesmen to help out with that, like keep watch, right? And say, hey, wake up, put some more wood on that fire, stuff like that. So it's gonna be, I want a lot of men to do the shift, so not everyone, no one is being overburdened and doesn't get any sleep, right? If we have a lot of men doing it, it shouldn't be, 1 hour each guy, whatever, 2 hours each guy, just making sure it stays lit. This is after the affliction. No food, read Lamentations, told, no TV. Kathy is aware that we will be filling all the corners of the park. Yep, she knows that. No food, no water, no internet, no phone. This is being recorded. Yeah. All right. So everyone has an understanding of what we're doing. We're keeping the law to the best of our ability until we have more ability. When we have more ability, we're going to be doing more of the law. Right now, we're doing what we can with the ability, what we have, right? And that's what y'all wants to see, the determination to work through obstacles and to push yourself. Once he sees you making that effort towards him, he makes the effort towards you. Shalom.
Shalom. We can resume work after sundown tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
All right, shalom.
And then you stop sunrise. So you have that window to do stuff. Can fires be lit on the Day of Atonement? No. It's a Shabbat. After the Shabbat is over, you can light fire, but then you have to make sure there's no fire on the morning of the 11th day of the month, which is Shabbat. All right, the other scripture we need to look at is from Torah 4, and this is going to be chapter 29. 29 and verses 7 to 11. Verse 7. So this is Numbers chapter 29, verse 7 to 11. Wa gashor lachadash ha-Chaparaym hazah, or just ha-Chaparaym. In the 10th of the month of the 7th, on the 10th day of the 7th month, hazah of this month, makar kadash ya'eh lacham, a holy reading, it will be to you. Wa ghanetham, you will afflict yourselves. Af napashtechem, your souls. Chol mo'acha la taisho, all workmanship not you will do. Wa ha-Chaparaym, and you will offer gala, a burnt offering, la Ya'oh, unto Ya'oh, rechmechach, a sweet smelling savor, par, a bull, ban bakal, the son of a bull, this is a young bull, achad, one, el achad, what's the ale?
Ram.
One ram. Chabashem b'nei shana shabai, lambs of the first year, 7 lambs. V'meimam, without blemish, perfect. Ya'el, they will be lacham to you. Wa manchatham, and the grain offering, salat flour, balola, mixed with bashaman and oil. Shalashah gasharanim, 3/10 of it. The par for a bull. Shanei gasharanim, 2/10 of it. La'el achan, for one ram. Gashar gasharon, several tenths. La chabash, for a lamb. Ha'acha, the one. La shabayth ha-Chabashem, and for all 7. Then last we have Sha'ir Gazem, a goat, one goat. Chatath, for the sin offering. Malabad, beside Chatath ha-Chaparaym, beside the offerings that you're doing on the Day of Atonement. Wa Galath, and the burnt offering hatha made, the continual, the daily. Wa Manchafa, its grain offering. Wa Nasachecham, and their drink offerings. Now we can't do the animals part yet. I hope next year we can. But right now, all we can do is the grain offering, and so that's what I'll be doing. The mancha offering. So it's bittersweet. Again, we're looking at the law. It's telling us what we're supposed to do, and we're not able to do it yet because we don't have what we need. He's in the process of restoring us, and so we just have to wait and work towards keeping the law in totality. But we're not there yet, and that's fine. But we're moving in that direction, and that's what I want you to. That's what I want you to see. The first year, we were in my house, all 12 tents. There's only a few of us. 12 tents, just 12 tents, smashed up together in my house. No offerings. It was just a sleepover in my house. Very inconvenient sleepover in my house. All right. The year after that, we went to the Dales. And then we really got some lessons to learn about clean and unclean and bathrooms and all the rest. And there was some arguments and fights. There was, you know, these things have to happen so that you learn from them and you grow. This year, we're going to a much bigger area, and we're going to have an altar and offerings every day. And we're going to be arranged our tents according to the Degal formation we see in Scripture, with 3 tribes to each Degal under their own flag. So we are making progress. We're actually moving closer and closer to reviving the covenant and living it out. Because you don't want to come here and just make up your own holiday. And that's what is on my mind every time we have a holy day. I'm afraid, listen, I don't want to just be making up stuff and call it, oh, well, we kept the Feast of Tabernacles. No, you didn't. No, we kept Passover. No, you didn't. You kept your version of it, but you can't say you did what the law says if you're not doing exactly what the law says. And we don't want to be imitating what the Jews and the Christians and these camps do. They just make up their own stuff, and they say, oh, we're keeping the law. And they don't want to be honest enough to admit that they're not keeping the law. Number one, you're in the wrong place to keep these commandments. You're not supposed to be keeping any feast and calling it, of keeping the law in the land that's polluted with the blood of our ancestors. That's not where you're supposed to be keeping it. You're supposed to leave that land, go somewhere else at the end of the earth. And they're not doing that. You are. You're the only ones that are doing that. So you're in the right place. And now it's just a matter of coming together, building a unity, building a strong, unified nation. And once we have that, there's nothing we can't achieve. And once we'll find a way to unite and really put our heads together, there's nothing we can't do, we can't achieve. Plus, he is going to bless us with wealth. But even before that, we can still accomplish so much. We saw that on the day of Memorial of Loud Noise, how much stuff we got done in one day, just by working together, coordinating. That was a beautiful day. So we can do this. This is well within our ability to do. And we're going to have a lot of fun. The last scripture is, tomorrow we are supposed to blow the Jubilee trumpet. So this is the 50th year. That's in Thor 3, chapter 29, verse 9, talks about the Jubilee year and how on the 10th day of the month you are supposed to blow the Jubilee trumpet and signify the releasing of debts. And, folks can revert back to their land if they had to, sell it temporarily to pay off their debts. Now the land goes back to them free of charge. Everyone gets a fresh start. We're not going to do that because we're not in our land and we don't have, that system set up yet. It's not supposed to be outside the land. So our ancestors didn't do it in the wilderness either. When they were in the first wilderness, they didn't have this. They didn't start until they were in the land. Okay, but we mark it though on our calendar that this is the Jubilee year. Okay, but we're not going to be blowing the Jubilee trumpet. Number one, we don't have one. Number two, you're not supposed to do that until you're in the land. Okay, any questions? Any questions about what we read, what we're about to do? everyone's clear. No confusion. No, when we end this class, there's going to be people talking in their chat group. Well, what about this? What about this? And what about that?
What's a lot for my bang?
So,
Well, I know you said that this doesn't apply to people over here in my frame, but but the time is the time of affliction is tomorrow evening, or what would the time be?
For you, yeah, it would be tomorrow evening. For us, it's tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shalom.
Shalom. Anybody else?
May I ask a question? It's not specifically pertaining to this, but it's something that's been on my mind about. You just said, something about a blessing, and trying to break it down and explain a blessing, the difference between a blessing and an earning. Is it all right to say basically when you get a blessing, it's not something that can be compared to everything else, like something everyone else receives? Versus saying, okay, I put it on my Facebook, but I don't want to keep it up there if it's wrong. Like basically saying like, oh, I was blessed with a car, from the higher power. But then I said, at the same time, you could have a person that doesn't even believe in a higher power that got a car, but you guys both took the same steps to get that car. You saved your money and you bought the car.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I got a job, so I was blessed with the job to get the car, to be able to pay for the car. It's like, oh, well, the same believer works at the same place. But when it comes to the remnant, at the same time, that is a true blessing because not everybody gets to have that or say, it is from the Creator. So I'm like, the difference between a blessing and just earning something like that's a regular life.
I didn't hear the last part. Is she there? Still there?
Yeah, like I was saying, like I don't know which last part, how far.
You were saying the difference between a blessing and something that you earn. They're not necessarily the
Yeah,
same.
like that you just like work for that just about everybody could achieve if they took the same steps.
Yeah, but we're not naive to know that it is still Ya'oh that's allowing us to get whatever we're working for. He still has a final say. You can work your ass off and still not get it because Ya'oh says no, even though you did everything right, and you still didn't get it what you were trying to get because the answer was no. So we know that. We know that. Yeah, you can still work and earn something, but it's Ya'oh who's allowing you to have that thing, whatever it is that you're after. So we always see it as a blessing when we are able to acquire whatever we were working for. Whereas a stranger or someone who doesn't know Ya'oh will never give him the glory. They'll say, "Oh, well, I did it."
Okay. Thanks for the clarification. Shalom.
Shalom. Anybody else?
Shalom,
No,
my
they
man.
had a question. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Okay.
No, you go ahead, Copy.
Shalom. I had a question concerning smiling, like not finding real joy in this day, but I wake up and I look at the sky and I smile. I'll see my daughters and I smile. We're really kind of silly in that way, I guess, if you want to call it silly. So my question was, if I even find a reason to smile in the worst situations, how do I suppress that, or how do I get around that for this day in particular?
That's fine.
Just don't.
I wouldn't worry
Okay.
about it.
Shalom.
Don't worry about it. Shalom. We're talking about how you carry yourself throughout the day, and you're obviously not going to be, unless you really are a happy person, smiling, 24/7, 24 hours throughout the day. Shar Darach, Ya'oh, I thought I saw you.
Shalom, my babe. So Makar, after the affliction, you want Khadar Lamad to meet at the Highlands?
Yeah, if we can.
Now, and this question might be for YashaiYa'oh or YashaiYa'oh as well. Maybe I think a Parang be back there too. Do we think it's enough room? And because of, the terrain is it's rocky, they're building stuff back there. So is it enough room and is it safe footing, especially for people who are unfamiliar with going back there?
I have no idea. So yeah,
I
that's
know
that's
that's
why
why
I'm
I
asking.
said that's why I said this question.
Where we tend to practice.
I was thinking we can turn our practice down the hill, where the little area where they have the trucks that you'll see them parked in there down the hill. There's a lot more space down there.
Yeah, going to
You know what I'm
what?
saying?
That's what I was about to say. There's some cubicles where we tend to practice
I think, yeah,
Dagal Yam, and it's just a lot of black land.
Yeah, Dagal Yam goes down to the right where we turn off to the left where you know what I'm saying? I think
Yeah.
we go down the hill to the right. It's not that
Oh,
bad,
down to the right where
and
where
it's
we used to
all
look
that
off that
flat area.
cliff.
Yep, right there.
Time,
East.
On your puny hill.
Yeah.
On Puny Hill, that's right.
time. All right, but it's still gonna be. Well, I know Dagal Yam practices in the dark.
Yeah.
Dagal Mazrak usually tries to leave it dark. So it's still gonna be dark. I mean, just to be looking at papers, I guess you can look at your phone. It's gonna be dark though.
If we're doing call and response, you don't need a paper. You just listen to what the person said.
Fair enough.
Well, he said that you could park down there and leave the lights on.
Well, he can drive his car back there if he likes.
Yeah,
I'm not driving my car back there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I drove up there before. It's.
I mean, I've driven back there. It's just going to get your car filthy. There's a lot of debris. I wouldn't drive back
right.
in the dark
All right.
myself, but he can do that.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, is there anywhere else? I mean, where we can go and not scare people? I don't know.
I think that place is ideal.
Ideally, it would be the school, but the school's not ready yet.
Yeah, no, it will be too many people damage that floor before it's ready.
No, it's not scary. It ain't scary. I just think about safety. I think about things, and I don't think everybody's familiar with going back there because you got to walk back there.
Yeah.
You got to walk. But
Right.
it's fine. It's fine for me. I'm just kind of thinking collectively, but it should be fine. And this is
Can we gather in
after.
front of Shaul's house and get in trouble with the police again?
Get arrested.
Let me just Zakan.
2,000 pesos ahead.
Yeah.
Hear this. Zakan is an elderly. Is a Zakan, and he mount that hill with a stick, and he didn't have any issues getting there. So if he can do it, I think it shouldn't be a problem for us. How many men of us?
He's talking about the dark and it's being dark, which
It's all right. We have those powerful
flashlights.
torches.
Yeah, bring some
exactly.
flashlights. Your phone has a flashlight or whatever. Bring something that you can see where you're stepping. Yeah, I'd like to get in one practice before we get to the camp. That's all. I mean, if we want, we can wait. We can do it Shabbat morning. We can wait until the sun comes up. You want to do that? You want to do that? So that way you guys can have your preparation.
I like that idea. I do.
All right.
Everybody else might not, but I like it.
We'll do it after class. After Shabbat class, we'll meet. Have a quick rehearsal, quick practice, and then you guys can go enjoy the rest of your Shabbat. How's that?
Okay, on Shabbat day then.
Yeah.
Okay, shalom.
That
Shalom, my
way,
bang.
you're in preparation. Shalom.
I think that's told my heart.
Okay. No.
Shalom, Bang. I have a question. I'm sorry. I understand about tomorrow, no work, no doing nothing, just, pray to Yahweh, So I have a package that's coming for others and I'm going to hold it for them, and even something in the box for Azarnet, you know what I'm saying? And It's
Mhm.
just saying truck is loaded today. I don't know if it's gonna come today or tomorrow. Can I receive the package?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's
You
fine.
know, all right. Shalom.
Yeah. You're not working just by receiving. Okay. Shar Malakia. Oh,
Shalom, my bang.
shalom.
So, we're talking about practicing and everything. I just had a quick question, and forgive me if you answered this already and got here a little late. But I saw in the Sakata chat that the owner or whatever was saying no loud noises. Are we going to be able to practice the chant and praise Yahweh's name without any issues there?
I can answer that question.
I don't care.
Shalom.
I can.
I don't care. You know,
Um,
I'm not worried about the owner
yeah,
when it comes to noise I make.
we have permission to make noise only after up until 10 o'clock. After 10 o'clock, we can't make no noise. They do say we can bring our music, but we cannot play it loud, like to disturb, others who might be coming in, because we do not have the ground exclusively between the hours of, say, 9 when they open to 5 p.m. So after 5 p.m., we're going to be exclusively on the grounds, and we can go anywhere and do anything. But that's what they said. That's the deal we were. So yes, we can make noise, we can practice, we can shout to Yahweh. That's something we stressed before we even go any further, that we shout to our Creator, and we're good to go on that. But
Shalom.
We have to be respectful after 10 p.m. Have to be respectful after 10 p.m. Shalom.
That's fine. And when you can start getting those hours of night, I'm going to be more concerned if the fire stays lit, doesn't go out. Than I am about making noise. Okay. Anybody else? All right. Prophecy. We're gonna look at can I use my computer strictly for reading? Yeah. Sundown, yes. For girls who has a period, no matter her age. No, if she's girls they don't have their period all the same. Sometimes a girl can start her cycles when she's 9 years old. I'm not gonna expect a 9-year-old to afflict her soul. Or a 13-year-old either. I think we should leave this at 20 and up for adults who understand and know how to do this. Don't drive your car or bikes through the violence. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't gonna do that. Oh, okay. I will deal with it. Ya'oh Chazake. Yeah, no problem. Who else? Who else has their hand up?
Shalom. I have my hand up.
Okay.
I came in late, so I don't know if this was asked already, but I was wondering, does the day of affliction, does it stem from when they made the golden calf, and then Masha went back up to pray to Yahweh, and Yahweh came and said that we were a stiff-necked people, and then it said we started to mourn and we took off all our jewelry. Is this where the day of affliction stem from, or it was just the commandment he just gave?
Just a commandment.
to.
Has nothing to do with that. If you have to work tonight and you're here because your job is in Ha-Chaparaym, you would be breaking the Shabbat. Is there any way you can work early and leave early? Like, tell them, listen, I have to start earlier, 3 hours early, and I'm gonna finish before the sun goes away tonight. Because you would be breaking it if you work past sundown. So yeah, this is, moment of truth. You have to, if they say no, you have to put Yahweh first and say, well, sorry, but I didn't come all this way to break commandments. And the map that I drew, it's just a rough draft. Obviously, I'm not there, but just an aerial idea of where the holy area would be in the 4 camps relative to that. There should be spaces in the behind your camp where the trail, where the forest begins, that you can designate as outside the camp and put your toilets. So you're not defecating within the camp; it's outside, and you don't have to walk all the way down.
I was talking about. I heard Maker all say that we would be sharing the we would be sharing the park. The area that you drew up, is that only for us, or would the heathens also be like placing their tents and stuff in camp with us?
There should be nobody there but us, I was told.
Yeah, there will be nobody camping on the sites, because they open to the public and we didn't rent the place exclusively. That's why they have to allow strangers to come in. But they'll come in and just yeah, they're just coming in and sightseeing and stuff like that. They don't put up any tents. We're the only one that's gonna have tents. And all strangers are people who are coming in just to spend the day at the park, probably hang out, take pictures, or whatever the case may be. They got to leave the park by 5 o'clock.
Shalom. Shalom. That's not necessarily true. We didn't rent the park exclusively. So if somebody wants to pay to come in and pitch a tent, they have the right to do so. We didn't pay for exclusiveness as far as camping. So we're just trusting in YashaiYa'oh that we're going to be the only ones there the entire time. But we didn't pay for that. So I need to correct that. We didn't pay for it.
Anybody else? All right. Let's look at YashaiYa'oh chapter 48 for the prophecy. And see what we can learn. YashaiYa'oh 48, Isaiah chapter 48. The previous chapter, 47, talked about the prophecy about the destruction of Babylon. And the chapter before that, the 46th chapter, talked about the ravenous bird being the instrument of that destruction. So it's picking up. Chapter 48 is continuing the same theme about the destruction of Babylon and all that stuff. In verse 1, we have YashaiYa'oh, an imperative verb. YashaiYa'oh's off. YashaiYa'oh's off.
Hear this.
Hear this. Hear you all, or you all listen to this. Beth Yaoh,
the house of Yaoh.
ha-Chaparaym,
the ones called
Basham,
by the name
Ya'oh,
Ya'oh,
Wa Mameh,
and
Mameh, from the
from
waters
me.
of,
From the waters.
from the waters of. This is in construct. Mame is the absolute Ma Ya Ma Mame, but when it's in construct, the third letter drops out. You just have May, waters of Ya'oh, from the waters of Ya'oh. Yitza'o,
Going out, they go out.
yeah. So Ya'oh here is not just one tribe. This is using the chief tribe for everybody. So these are people of the bloodline. They come out of the waters of Ya'oh, meaning they come from the bloodline of the nation. Yitza'o, they come out. Ha-Chaparaym, the ones who
are
swear. Basham Ya'oh, they swear by the name Ya'oh, so they know his name. Waba'a Allah Ya'oh,
and by the higher power of Ya'oh,
by the higher power. Yazchero, by the higher power of Ya'oh, they
Wants to remember.
make memory, they memorialize. So far we're talking about our people, and we're talking about the ones who are called by the name Ya'oh. They have the name, and they have the divine name. They swear by the name Ya'oh. So this would have to be what point of our history? Who are these people? What point of our history is this?
Now.
No. Look at it. La ba'amath. Wallah but sadaka.
Not in truth and
not in truth. Not in righteousness.
Oh.
So these are our people. They know his name. They know their name. They know who they are.
Before the
they make mention of the God of Ya'oh, but it's not in truth and it's not in righteousness.
Those before the fall of Jerusalem in 70 AD.
Yeah, before the destruction of our people, before they were scattered, right? Okay, Ma'ger, for from out of the city, Hakadash, the holy city, the Karo. Are they called? Wa'ral alei Ya'oh nasamacho.
And upon the higher power of Ya'oh,
they lean.
They lean, okay.
Samach, nasamach, they lean. Nasamacho. Ya'oh Tzabaoth Shamo.
On Ya'oh of hosts is his name.
So verses 1 to 2, it's interesting. The prophet is talking about our people before they were cut off. They know them, they know themselves, they know their language, they know his name, they swear by his name, they lean upon him, but it's not in truth, in righteousness. So what could that mean? How could they know all this stuff but not be in truth, in righteousness?
They're not practicing it. They're not following it according to his commands.
Yeah, they would have to be mixing stuff into it, right?
I didn't take it away.
They're mixing stuff into it. They know Ya'oh, but they're not exclusively worshiping him. They got some other stuff that they've added into the picture. All right, that's the time period that we're looking at. This is before the destruction of our nation.
Time of the
when we still knew our language, we still knew who we were, but we were not exclusively worshiping Ya'oh. We did worship him, but not just him. You know, if you read the book of YashaiYa'oh, it says, yeah, we worship Ya'oh and his wife, the queen of heaven. Like, what? Where'd you get that from? Like, how they squeeze a consort into their system of belief is beyond me, but they still worship Ya'oh. They just also believed he had a wife, and they worshiped her alongside him. So That's the time period that we're in. Verse 3, hara ashanoth. The old things or the former things, ma'az, from then, from ma'az, from then, hagate,
I declare.
I caused to be declared. Wa mape, and from my mouth, yatsa'o, they went forth. Wa ashamei, and I caused them to be heard. Caused them to be heard. Patham, suddenly, rashethe, I did. Suddenly I did. Wathabana, and it happened. It happened. All right. So verse 3, he's telling these people, he's talking to these people who still know their language, their names, and all that stuff, but they're not doing it in righteousness. He's telling them, I declared prophecies, the old prophecies at that time. I declared them, I made them known to you. And then suddenly I fulfilled them, I did them. Verse 4, ma daithe, because knowing I, this is an infinitive construct, preposition ma, then a suffix for the first person. Ma daithe, because I knew, okay, that kasha atha, hard are you, or stiff-necked are you. So now we know he's not talking about the good people. He's talking to us, the ones who were bad. But they still know they still know the name, they know the language, they know his name. You know, they're not destroyed that far yet, but they are bad. They're stiff-necked. Wagade, and the sinew barzal of iron, Gharabcha, is your neck. Iron, sinew is your neck. Wa matzachcha, and your forehead, nachosha, brass. This is the word for brass. The other word, nachshath, is copper. Nachosha is brass. So what's verse 4 mean? He's saying in verse 3, I made prophetic statements, things that came out of my mouth. I made them known to you, and then I quickly made them happen. Because I knew that you are stiff-necked and that you have a sinew of iron for your neck, and your forehead is like brass. Wa'aged lacha, and I caused to declare to you, ma'az, from then, ba'taram, before thabo, before it happened, thabo, before it happened. He's trying to preempt something here. What Ya'oh is saying is I made these prophecies and I made them come to pass quickly, right? Before they happened, I declare them to you. Okay, then you have ha-Chaparaym, ha-Chaparaym, I declared to you, pan, lest Tha'amar, you will say, my image did them. Wapasale, my idol. Wa nasache, so my molten image commanded them. So what is this? Is this a little game here? He's saying, I knew that you were I know that you know me and you say you worship me and you have my name and you swear by my name, but it's not in truth and righteousness. That means you're stiff-necked. That means you're also worshiping other gods alongside me. I told you not to do that, but you're worshiping other gods alongside me. So I made prophetic statements and I told you about what was going to happen. And I made it happen before you could figure it out. Because if you figured it out, what were you going to say?
That the molten images, the idols, and the graven images.
Yeah, you were going to give the credit to your idols. You were going to give the credit to your images and the stuff that you made by your own hands. You weren't going to give me credit. So I told you what was going to happen. I made you aware of it, and then I did it quickly before you figured it out, so that you wouldn't give my glory to your images and your idols. So now what is he talking about? When did he do this? When did he do this?
During the time of the captivities? Or is you talking about in other words, preceding the captivities? The Assyrian and the Babylonian?
Okay. Was that it?
No, I wouldn't say so. Maybe all the way from the time we entered into the land up until then.
And how about all the way till now?
After,
So from the time that we were in the biblical period and we knew ourselves, we knew him, but we were mixing, we were syncretizing his laws with paganism. So he made all these prophetic statements about the future, but he didn't let them figure it out, because if they figured it out, and then when they started to happen, they were going to say, oh, yeah, I knew that. I knew my idol told me that was going to happen. And they wouldn't give the credit to Ya'oh. Verse 6, Shemaitha, you have heard. Full stop. That's one sentence. You have heard. Period. Chazah chalha. Chazah is an imperative. Look upon or gaze upon a command. Chalha, all of it. Look upon all of it. Gaze upon all of it. All of what? All the prophecies that he said would happen, and how they happened before they could figure it out and give credit to their idols. Look at all of this. Wa'afam. And you. Hello, is it not the Gato you will cause to declare, cause to make known? So what's verse 6, at least the part that we read? What's it saying? You've been put on notice. And I am doing this for a reason, so that you know there's a difference between me and that statue you made that you think is going to be able to save you. There's a difference between me and your images. You've been put on notice. You've heard. Now look at all this. Gaze upon everything that I said would happen, and it's happened. And you're not gonna speak up and declare this. You're not gonna come clean and confess that I am who I said I was, and that you deserve this, and you have gone astray. Ha-Shemaitecha, I cause to declare to you Chadashoth, new things, ma'gatha, from now. I have caused to declare new things starting now. Well, not Saroth, and hidden things, wallah yadaifa, and not have you known them. Verse 7, ghafa, now, nabara'o, they were created. Wallah ma'az, and not from then. Wallah panei yom, even before today. Wallah shemaitham, and not have you heard or not do you understand them. Pan, lest the Amar, you will say, Hanan, behold, Yadaife, I know them. So we have two periods here. We have a period where he's told them they made prophecies, and he fulfilled them before they could figure it out, before they could give credit to their idols. And now we reach the point where he says, now, from now on, from this point on, I'm going to tell you new things, things that were hidden, things you did not know. Now I'm creating new things. And it's the same thing. You're not going to know them. You're not going to understand them, lest you say, behold, I did know it, and give the credit to somebody else except me. So the former things is the past. When is the now? When is the ghafa? Is the question. When does the ghafa start? What's that period? When does that start?
From the time that we've heard the name into the Exodus and today.
Yeah, let's see if that's true. Let's prove it. Verse 8. Gamla shemaita.
Also, not have you heard?
Not have you heard or not have you understood. Shemai can also mean to understood, to understand. Gamla shemaita, even not have you understood. Gamla yadaitha, not even not have you known. Gam ma'az, also or even from then. La, not pathacha, has it opened? Azancha, your ear. Okay, because or that or well, because Yadaithe, I know Bagod, treacherously, Sabagad, you will be treacherous. He knows that if he lets them figure it out, they're gonna be treacherous with it and not give credit where credit is due. Wapashai, and a transgressor, ma batan, from the womb, car, passive, okay, it has been called lacha to you. From the womb, you are a transgressor. You can't be trusted with the truth. You can't be trusted to be honest about what's happening, what I've done. So I had to do it this way to preempt you from giving my glory to your idols. Lamine, so that Shamay, my name, I'm sorry, for the sake of Lamine, for the sake of my name, Ararech, I've deferred Ape, I've caused to defer Ape, my wrath. Wathalathe, in my praise, Achatam, I refrain lacha for you. Labalathe, without hachreth, hachrecha, without cutting you off. Hachreth is a infinitive, and the chaz there for the suffix, without cutting you off. Hana, behold, sarabtecha, I have refined you. Mulabachasap, but not as silver. Bacharthecha, I have chosen you Bachor, in the furnace of Ghane, affliction. In the furnace of affliction. Lamine, verse 11. Lamine. For mine own sake, Aisha, I will do. Okay, for a how, Yahweh, it will be polluted. How will it be polluted? Talking about his name. Wa chabode, and my glory, la'achar, to another, la'athan, not will I give. Shemai ale, listen to me, Ya'oh, wa YashaiYa'oh. Akara, the ones called, Aneho, I am he, or I exist is another good way to translate this. I exist. Ane, Ra'ashon, I am the beginning. Ap ane, indeed I am Acharon, the last. Or I am the first, and indeed I am the last. Ap Yadeh, indeed my hand, Yasada, it has founded Arat's earth. Wa Yemene, in my right hand, Tapacha, it has spanned Shemaim, heaven. Kar, the one who calls, Ane am I, Alehem, to them, Yamado, Yachado, they will stand together. So he needs to say that because they apparently have forgotten who they're dealing with. This is the creator of heaven and earth. This is the one who commands the heavens, and they do whatever the hell he tells them to do. They stand at attention when he calls out to them. They are ready at a moment's notice to do whatever he tells them to do. Verse 14. Ha-Kabatso. This is the passive of Kabatz, imperative. So assemble yourselves is a command. Ha-Kabatso, passive. Assemble yourselves. Call chum. All of you. Wa shemayo, and listen. May Baham, who among these, Haged, is the one causing declare of Allah. These. Assemble yourselves together, all of you, and listen. Who among these is causing to declare these? What can we say about line 14? Hakabatsu Khalkham. That's a command. Was it ever fulfilled?
Not any time before.
Can we say it has been fulfilled or it is being fulfilled? When is it Hakabatsu Khalkham happening?
During this time.
Right? This is the gathering of the remnant out of captivity. And what are they supposed to do? They're supposed to listen to Ya'oh now. He asked the question, May Baham, who among these, the ones who have been gathered, is the one who is declaring to you these, meaning everything he just talked about? The old things have happened already, and they happened and they came to pass before we could give credit to the idols. The new things he's saying, I'm not going to let you know. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, but I'm not going to let you figure it out, because I know what you're going to do. You're a wicked people. and you're going to twist the truth, and you're going to give the credit to everybody and everything but me. And you've forgotten who I am. So let me remind you, I am this guy. I'm first, last. I'm the one who created heaven and earth. I'm the one who tells them what to do, and they stand at attention. I'm that guy. In case you forgot. And I'm going to do this for my name, because I don't want my name to forever be polluted. I'm going to withhold destroying all of you, because if I do that, I'm going to destroy my reputation. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to defer killing all of you, and I'm going to leave some of you for my name's sake. I will not give my glory to another. Then he says, gather together, assemble yourselves together. That's talking about the Exodus. And among those who've been gathered, there is one who has declared to you these. Ya'oh, Ya'oh loves him. Yasha, he will do chapatzo, his pleasure, his desire. Babal, upon Babal. Now we know we have a reference point for the old things versus the now on things, from now on things. We're still talking about the destruction of Babylon, and we're talking about the same guy from 46 and 47 who's the instrument. But the heathen scholars would tell you, oh, okay, well, this must be Cyrus the Persian. Right here, Ya'oh, Ya'oh loves him. That must be Cyrus the Persian. He's the one who captured Babylon and set the Jews free. What's wrong with that theory? Did Ya'oh love Cyrus the Persian?
La.
How do we know he didn't love him?
He allowed him to get beheaded by a woman in a battle.
Not only,
never fulfilled any of those prophecies.
yeah, not only that, but he was an idol worshiper. I mean,
he was an idol worshiper.
Yeah, can't worship idol and worship. This is what he's saying here in the whole verse.
And we know that Cyrus marched out to battle, lost the battle, got killed, and then a female queen went up to him and cut his head off. Does that sound like somebody Ya'oh loves? Would Ya'oh let that happen to somebody he loves?
La.
No, this is not Cyrus. It can't be Cyrus. Yeah, Cyrus was a tool, but a disposable tool. Not some tool you cherish and you can only put this back in my tool case. So I'm going to use it again. I love this tool. I'm not going to throw this one. He was a disposable tool. That's what he was. I mean, once he got done with him, he threw him away, threw him in the trash. Once he made him do what he wanted him to do, that was it. He threw him away. He was a disposable tool.
Bang, were there more than one Cyrus?
There was more than one person with the name, yeah, but there was only one Cyrus the Great.
Okay. Shalom.
All right. So we can safely rule out this can't be talking about Cyrus, because Ya'oh clearly did not love him, and he did not do his pleasure on Babylon. The pleasure of Ya'oh, or the pleasure of this person that's being talked about, is to destroy Babylon. Cyrus the Persian did exactly the opposite. He loved Babylon. He came in there as a peaceful liberator, and he established peace. He came in peace. He didn't kill anybody. He didn't destroy one building. He kept everything the way it was and worshiped the Babylonian gods. How can you say this is a person that Ya'oh loved? That's not, it can't be talking about Cyrus, talking about somebody else. Was a YashaiYa'oh and his arm, ha-Chaparaym, the Chaldeans, or ha-Chaparaym. That means, that's another way of saying he is going to destroy that place. When your arm is upon the ha-Chaparaym, that means you're destroying it. Okay. Ane, the Barthe, I, or me, I, me, the Barthe have spoken. Ap karatheo, indeed, I have called him. Ha-Be'atheo, I have brought him. Watzlech, and I have caused, or he will prosper, he will be successful, Daracho, in his way. Cyrus was successful, the great, up until a point, and then he met a very bad end. This guy is not supposed to ever meet a bad end. He's supposed to, his way is supposed to be successful, start to finish. Line 16. Karabo Ale, come near to me, YashaiYa'oh, and listen, Za'ah, to this. La Marash, not from the first or from the beginning, Basathar, in secret, to Barthe have I spoken. Magaf, from the time, Heotha, of it being, Sham Ane, there I am. Wa Ghafa, there's that word Ghafa again, and now, Adonai Ya'oh, Lord Ya'oh, Shalachni, sent me, Wa Rocho, and his Roch. The Christian translation is wrong. It's not Ya'oh and his Roch sent me. It's Ya'oh sent me and his Roch. We, the two. I was sent and the Roch was sent by Ya'oh. And it's the word now that we're looking at. Now, Ya'oh has sent me and his Roch. Who's speaking in verse 16?
It seems like Yahweh. He says, come near me and listen to the prophet. Could be the prophet.
I was gonna say, if it ain't Isaiah, it gotta be you.
He can't be Ya'oh because it says at the end, Ya'oh sent me. Ya'oh can't be talking about himself. He's speaking in the third person. Ya'oh sent me and his Roch. Sent me and the Roch. Me and the Roch were sent by Ya'oh. Who is speaking in verse 16?
Is it you?
It's the guy that you just read about in verse 14.
Yeah. Huh.
And what's the now? When is the now? The now is when what we said earlier. Now I'm going to do new things. New things. Right? Prophecies that you're not going to know. You're not going to figure them out. Because if you could, you'd say, oh, I knew about that. And you wouldn't give me the glory. I'm going to reserve the understanding and the revelation and the interpretation of these things, these new things, until this guy shows up. Why? Because this guy is not going to give my glory to another. This guy is never going to give credit to an idol, to a statue, those things that I said are going to happen. Why? Because this guy I love him. Verse 14, Ya'oh Abo, Ya'oh loves him. And he is not going to give the glory of Ya'oh away to an idol. And you need to, Karabo Ale, come near and listen to him. Listen to him. YashaiYa'oh, to this. Why? Because he's not from the beginning, meaning from the time he starts to speak. He's not speaking in a closet. He's not speaking in secret. He has no closed door meetings. Everything's out in the open. Everything is out there online, in the public domain. There's nothing he's saying in secret that he doesn't say in public. And it's always going to be Ya'oh over everything and everyone. Shalom, Darak Ya'oh.
Shalom, my vein. Man, this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. With this, with what you just said, I'm looking at my TV. Listen, would that tie into in our chant Ya'oh Ath Roch Malach Madei Khe Gaba Ba Mas Maso Lahash Kheta?
Yeah, it would.
That's crazy. And then and not to disrupt the flow, but would kabato be a better word than harako as far as a command to assemble yourselves, as like in reference to a group of men like our Dagalain?
Well, Kabaso is, you have to have that before you can have the Garako. Garako is to array yourself in military formation. Like prepare,
So
set yourself up. Kabaso is you got to be gathered to one place first. You all got to come together in one place first.
so in a military formation, if I'm saying fall in, then
Garako, yeah.
Garako.
Yeah.
YashaiYa'oh be right. Man, okay. This is dope though, because this all ties in directly to the war chant the way I'm looking at it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Who knew that there was a war chant? Who knew that there was a war chant in Jeremiah 50:51 until today? Nobody.
Definitely.
Nobody.
Definitely.
Everybody was reading that chapter thinking, oh, well, yeah, Cyrus did this almost. Well, Cyrus did that, but not that. Everyone was trying to push a square peg into a round hole and make it fit the time of Cyrus. When there's no way those chapters are talking about Cyrus. Those chapters are talking about the complete, utter destruction of Babylon, not some capture peacefully. No, complete and utter destruction by you, the battle axe. But no one was telling you that. No one was teaching that. No church, no seminary, no synagogue. No one was telling you that that's what is being told. That's what's being relayed in that prophecy. A message about how you are to fight her from abroad, how you are to engage her and go up against her from abroad. Line 17, ha-Chaparaym. Thus says Ya'oh, Ga'alcha, your Redeemer. Kadosh Ya'oh, the Holy One of Ya'oh. Ane Ya'oh, I am Ya'oh. Allah Echam, your higher power. Malamadcha, teaching you, the one teaching you. Lahoayel, to profit. Right? He's teaching us what we need to do to be wealthy and to be profitable while we're here. You want to have real wealth? I mean, not millions of dollars. You want to have billions, and you want to have super wealth? Let me teach you. Ma darachecha. The one guiding you or leading you, badarach, in the way, talach, you will go. Ya'oh was doing that. Lo ha-Chaparaym, only if all were it that you would have hearkened Lamad to my commandments. Ya'eh, and it would be Chanar, like a river, Shalomcha, your shalom. Tzedakavcha, and your righteousness, Chagali, like the waves of Hayam, the sea. Ya'eh, and it would be Chachol, like the sand. Zaraicha, your seed. Watza'atse'eh, and the offspring of Ma'echa, your loins. Chamatheo, like his gravel. La Yacharath, not will it have been cut, not will be cut off. Well, La Yashma, not will it have caused to be or be destroyed. Shamo, his name, Ma Lapanel, before me. Now wait a minute. We started this chapter by saying these people know his name, and they know their name. They don't have an identity crisis. But now in verse 19, it says, or verse 18 and 19, it says, wait a minute, if you guys had hearkened to my commandments, and if you had only done these things, your name would not have been cut off and destroyed. Well, when did that happen? Because this is a transition, right? This is a change from the way this chapter began. This chapter began by talking about the people who knew their name, knew his name. Now it's saying that their name had been cut off and destroyed. It means they lost their identity. That's talking about the recent captivity that we went through, the one that took us through Africa and brought us to the New World, stripped us of everything. Every vestige of our memory was gone, going through that hell, the furnace of affliction. And our name was destroyed, and we lost our identity completely, and other people are walking around with your identity. And now he's reversing that. How is he reversing that? Verse 20, Sa'o Mababa, get out, go out from Babylon. Baracho ma Chashadem, flee from Chashadem. Bakol Ranan, the voice of singing, Hagedo, you all cause to proclaim. YashaiYa'oh, cause it to be declared, Za'ath, this. ha-Chaparaym, this word to me is mistranslated in the English. They're telling you that this is an imperative with a suffix. And they're telling you it means utter it, cause it to be uttered. Right? Is that the word utter in there? The root is, if you can see the root, ya, sa, and yatsa, yats. What does yats mean?
Go out.
Go out. Go forth. It doesn't mean speak or cause it to be spoken. It's a different word. It's mistranslated. What is it really? It's an imperative with a paragogic ha at the end, which is for emphasis. So if you can just ignore the ha for a minute, act like it's not there, you have ha-Chaparaym as a command. What is ha-Chaparaym?
Cause to go out.
Cause yourselves to get out. Cause yourselves to get out. Cause yourselves to go out, and then the ha here is simply, we are emphasizing it, so you make a longer vowel. Ha-Chaparaym, ha-Chaparaym. You lengthen that vowel here at the end to emphasize the imperative. Ha-Chaparaym. Cause yourselves to go out, Gad, unto Katsah, the end of Ha'aretz, the earth. Now the scholars are saying, the heathens are saying, oh, well, this is what happened when Cyrus freed the Jews. They left Babylon and went back to the promised land. Is that what this verse is telling you to do? What's this verse telling you to do? Get out of Babylon and go where?
Far east.
Go to the end of the earth. You're supposed to go to the end of the earth after this Babylonian captivity. You're supposed to go to the end of the earth. You're not supposed to go to the land. The land is not the end of the earth. The promised land is not the end of the earth. So this can't be talking about the 6th century. This is talking about a future, or the one we're in now. You are leaving Babylon and you're going to the other end of the earth, the opposite end of the earth. And what are you supposed to do there? We are supposed to be doing this. Tomorrow, say, all of you, YashaiYa'oh, Gabado Ya'oh Gakab. YashaiYa'oh, Ya'oh has redeemed Gabado, his servant, Ya'oh Gakab, Jacob. And all of you need to be saying that now to each other, because you've been redeemed. If you're here, if he brought you here, you've been redeemed. YashaiYa'oh, Gabado Ya'oh Gakab. You should be saying that, proclaiming that to yourselves while you're here, because you've been redeemed. And he's starting you on the process of restoration. Say it with me. Ga'al-Ya'oh, Gabado-Ya'oh, Gakab.
Gabal, Ga'o,
Ya'o, Gabado, Ya'o, Gakab.
Ga'al-Ya'oh, Gabado-Ya'oh,
Bado
Gakab.
Al, Ya'o,
Bado Ya'oh.
Gabado Ya'oh Gakab.
See, you just fulfilled prophecy. You just fulfilled prophecy. Just by saying those words, you just fulfilled a prophecy. After you fled from Babylon and you went to the end of the earth and you say those words, you fulfilled the prophecy of YashaiYa'oh 48:20. And who told you that before now?
None.
Who was teaching that before now?
no one.
Nobody.
Ravenous bird.
That's what
Rabbinic
Yahweh
word.
was saying in this chapter. I'm not going to let you figure it out until the now. And the now is when he sends forth the man that he said, I love. And he is going to be the one to proclaim these. That means he's going to explain prophecy. He's going to break it down. He's also going to give new prophecy. Right? So he's going to explain things, old prophecy that you probably read and didn't understand. He's going to break that down. He's also going to make new prophecy that no one knew and no one was aware of. Because if they knew, they would say, oh, my idol did it, or this did it, or Nostradamus said that already. That ain't new. The Rahi, whatever the hell his name is, he said stuff like that. You ain't saying no. That's why he didn't let anyone know until now what he's about to do.
And no one gets the 2300 days prophecy. You're the only one that heard spoke of the 2300 days prophecy that will end in 2128. The only person I've ever heard say that. And I've heard a lot of prophecies on the 2300. So this is definitely a fulfillment of his word. I believe
So
it.
everyone has to ask yourself, okay, if you got a teacher who's of Ya'oh, is he doing these things? And if not, why not? Why not? The scripture says there will be one shepherd in the wilderness, one shepherd. Okay, last two verses. Wallah and not Sama'o, or did they thirst? Ba Charaboth, in the hot places, the places of intense heat, parched heat. They did not thirst in those places. Holechem, the ones causing to go, maim, water, matzor. This can be translated water from the rock, which is what most people translate it as, or it can be translated as water from the pyramid. Matzor also means pyramid. But let's just say it's from the rock right now. Hazel, causing to gush or flow forth, lamo, for them. Now that's history, right? That's what happened in the first Exodus. But why is he mentioning it now when this is clearly not the first Exodus? This is the second one. Why is he mentioning that now? About how they didn't go thirsty. I mean, they weren't thirsting, and they had plenty of water from the rock.
To remind,
go ahead.
To remind us that he is our Redeemer and that he's the one that's going to take care of all of our needs.
Yeah, and he's telling you that you're in the wilderness right now. And the same thing, he's going to provide. Even if it means breaking open a rock, while Yabakad saw, and he split open the cleft of rock, while Yazabo, and they gush forth, water. And he's going to do that when he destroys Babylon. That's going to be the same thing as like splitting open a rock. And all that water gushing forth for you. That's his promise to you, that you are not going to be left in this wilderness with no water, no resources, no wealth. He's going to crack open a rock for you, and water will gush forth for you. Then the last verse, Ain Shalom, there is no peace among Ya'oh, says Ya'oh, L'Rashaim, to the wicked. Now who's he talking about here? In the last verse. He's talking about our people.
Atonement.
He's talking about our people. The ones who weren't gathered. The ones he's leaving behind. Obviously, there's a lot more wicked than just our people, but he's talking about their fate. They will have no peace, the ones he's leaving behind. And we see that. We see that. They'll build you up, make you think you're successful, let you show your lifestyle and, flaunt your wealth, and then they'll destroy you. Actually, that's Ya'oh do it. You should never think that what's happening to Sean Combs is orchestrated by the white devil. That's not what's happening. What's happening to Sean Combs?
He's been exposed.
By who?
Ya'oh.
By Ya'oh.
Ya'oh.
Ya'oh. There's no white man pulling no strings. They just think they are. White man is just a tool in the hands of the true maker and manipulator of all things, and that's Ya'oh. And it's a reminder that no matter how successful you think you will be in that land, if you're in that land and not keeping his commandments, you will have no peace. He'll strip you and break you down and destroy you and put you in jail next to R. Kelly. That's how it is. So, any questions?
Not a question, but a comment and a confession. First, let me say thank you for. I can't emphasize this, man. I really love you. I just can't emphasize that enough. From the day Ya'oh opened my eyes to see you, I really love you, man. And, I'm following you wholeheartedly, man. So I just want to say that. Secondly, let me just confess to Shar Darak Ya'oh and Khadar Ya'oh and the other leaders, YashaiYa'oh as well. When I came up on the mountain, man, I had the most attitude. I had the attitude from the minute I stepped off of my Porsche to I got there. And when I got there, I even had more attitude. And started to say some things in my heart, until the overflow of my heart, my mouth started to speak, and I start to say those things out loud. I'm like, man, what's the, and these are my words. What the fuck is this? I didn't sign up for no military. Blah, blah, and I'm going off. And as time goes on, Ya'oh really put his rope up on my heart. And not only that, I felt ashamed, but I felt I need to go along with the program. And just as I say those words that came out of my mouth, Darak Ya'oh just started to speak as the rope led him to speak. Leave our houses and leave our family, sold this, sold that, to come here. And if not to serve Ya'oh, then what for? And my heart was broken. And I quickly repented and fall in line. And in that moment, a cloud was approaching. And that big cloud stood over us. And it wouldn't move, it just stayed there. That big dark cloud just stood there. And someone said, anybody considering that cloud that just arise over us? And it just stood there. And I don't know what happened, but I just felt like everybody who had attitude or who were taking it the wrong way, start to look at themselves, and their heart was revealed. But I'm not here to talk about everybody. I'm just here to talk about my. So I want to make a public apology to the leaders of our group, and to say, man, continue doing what you guys are doing. because I definitely today's message and what I experienced over there definitely showed me that Ya'oh is truly in control of what's going on here. That these things are not happening because men want to make themselves known or make themselves the boss or the leaders, but Ya'oh is the one that orchestrates all these things. So I want to say thank you again to Yaodah for and Yaoram and all the leaders, man, for really putting your heart out for us. And yes, we might be a little slow, but we will fall in line. And I just want to say thank you, and I apologize again. Thank
I'll take it all.
Okay, that's it. You should start getting ready. Maybe stuff your face. You know, enjoy a good meal before the sun goes away, or do whatever you got to do. If you have some last minute stuff you got to do it now. And be prepared for the evening. This is a holy, 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 holy time. And so we need to treat it with the right respect and reverence. All right. Is there a priest here who would like to bless us out?
Shalom, man, before you leave. Can you hear me?
I can hear you barely.
Okay.
All right. In my situation, I read thorough from the telegram. Is it okay for me to have the phone out just for that purpose?
Yeah. Just don't flip to, Pornhub. No, I'm joking.
All right, because I ain't even had it downloaded. Shalom.
I'm just joking. No, it's fine. It's fine. I was thinking about having a class, maybe to help folks take their mind off stuff, but I'm just gonna go full blackout. That's what I'm gonna do.
Mine.
Okay, I'll give the police blessing if there's another police there.
Hold on.
YashaiYa'oh, YashaiYa'oh, YashaiYa'oh Peneo Aleka, Wayakhanka. YashaiYa'oh Peneo Aleka, Wayasham Lacha. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, mashpakate.
Shalom, mashpakate.
Shalom. Shalom.